How to Live Off-Grid, Dicky Dread. Funnily enough, I'm playing with that band on Saturday. I'm looking forward to that. So this is part 6 of solar power for off-grid living the truth. We covered the basic systems so far, where to get cheap panels, batteries, controllers, and the basics of wiring up the whole system. And we looked at lighting as well last week. And today we're going to look at the power stations. So portable power stations have changed off-grid living dramatically. Instead of building your own solar system from separate batteries, charge controllers and inverters, everything comes in one simple unit. Simply charge it up, plug your equipment in. They're ideal for travellers and off-gridders who want reliable power without learning electrical installation. But I would thoroughly recommend that you do learn electrical installation. But that's just my opinion. If you want to keep it simple, then these are a good way to go. So most modern units use lithium iron phosphate batteries, and in part 4 we covered all the batteries, so you can look back there if you want some information on the batteries. They are probably the best batteries for off-grid at the moment. These last for longer than the older lithium batteries and the lead ions, but they're much safer. Many units also recharge incredibly quickly from the mains and can charge whilst simultaneously powering your equipment. Also note you can take them down to zero charge as well, as opposed to having a sort of limit around the 50% mark. So for many people, they're now the easiest route into off-grid electricity. So don't just look at the biggest wattage. So when you're looking at which one you need to buy, and of course there'll be a financial you'll have a financial limit constraint as well. So don't just look for the biggest wattage printed on the box. The battery capacity usually matters for more than the peak power rating, far more than the peak power rating. Think about what you'll actually be running and for how long. So do those calculations where you calculate the various devices, and you can calculate the amp hours, etc., like we did before. Also remember that larger units can weigh up to 25 kilograms. They are fucking heavy, some of them, so portability may become an issue, especially if you put it somewhere where you've got to sort of lean over, which I've done before and nearly broke my back halfway through the night. Note that there are loads of comparisons on the various models on YouTube, so before you buy, have a good look at some of the comparison sites on YouTube. Another thing which I haven't put in this particular presentation is that they're quite noisy. The fan of them can be quite noisy, so you don't really want them in your bedroom. So setting them up, using the systems, it really couldn't be any easier. You fully charge the battery before setting off, connect your solar panel, use the correct adapter, plug your appliances in, the appropriate outputs, and keep an eye on the display or smartphone app. Most of them are smartphone apps these days. I can't for the life of me get mine to work, but that's just my inability to work with the apps. So modern units tell you almost everything you need to know. But there are a couple of things you need to know to avoid expensive mistakes, and these are fairly simple, and there's a list of them there in that warning part. So always check the maximum solar input voltage before connecting your panels. Don't overload the inverter by running too many appliances at once. I think I did that to a Bluetti and killed it. Remember that lithium batteries don't like being charged below freezing temperatures or left out in the freezing cold. So should you get a DIY system, build it yourself, or a power station, and they're going to get a bit opinionated now. So power stations aren't replacing DIY systems, in my opinion. They're simply another option. If you're building a permanent installation with lots of solar and batteries, a DIY system still offers greater flexibility and easier repairs. Sorry, some bird of prey actually. Oh, it's a kite just got stuck in the tree. DIY systems still offer greater flexibility and easier repairs, and it teaches you an important off-grid skill. It teaches you how to do things and understand things. But if you simply want reliable electricity with minimum effort, portable power stations are hard to beat. They are quite expensive though. They're not you're going to pay minimum of a few £100s, if not up to thousands of pounds for the higher power systems. So, summary: portable power stations have made off-grid electricity accessible to almost everyone now. But the biggest battery capacity your budget sensibly buy the biggest battery capacity your budget sensibly allows. Choose a reputable manufacturer and think carefully about what you actually need to power. And as I say, have a look at those YouTube comparison videos. So many travellers and off-gridders, they're now the simplest and most reliable solution available. I've got an EcoFlow power station, a 1200 watt system to run my static caravan, while a smaller Jackery has lived in my horsebox for nearly a decade now. So I've had that for 10 years. It's still going strong despite being left out and kicked around festivals, etc. So it's an amazing, resilient thing. But I did have a Bluetti, and they, I'm pretty sure the motherboard blew on that. So what we're going to cover next. So we're going to cover some of the most common mistakes people make in the next one when building solar systems, along with safety issues that can turn a simple project into an expensive or a dangerous one. And finally, we'll look at how to expand your system over time. I'm going to use my own system as an example here, adding more panels, more battery capacity and additional equipment as your needs grow. And I'll also include how to connect panels in series in parallel and when you want to do that. After that will conclude solar. Then I'm going to move on then to how to use bottled gas. So until next time, stay safe, stay curious, and enjoy the freedom that comes with generating your own power. So thanks for watching. See you in part 7. We're going to cover safety issues and common mistakes. Again, if you like it and leave comments, etc., it does get the message out there. So stay well, stay safe.
Why